Hi, I'm Lee Darter. I'm here from the artroomblog.blogspot.com, and I'm going to teach you today about making a cardboard bird with some feathers in it. So today we're going to make this cute little cardboard bird with some feathers, and he stands up. So I'm going to flip you around and we're going to get started. Okay, so today we're going to make this cardboard bird, and he stands up. Cardboard bird, that's hard to say. And he has some feathers in him. I'm going to kind of scroll down here so you can see him a little better. There he is. All right. So the things you're going to need today to make this cute little guy are, of course, some cardboard, which I just cut off an old Amazon box, and little cardboard cutting scissors that look like this. Now, if you want to have your kids draw out your parts first, you can. I'm just going to go straight for it. So you want to cut kind of an oval, but it's a little pointy at both ends. I don't know if you're old enough to remember the Partridge Family, but it kind of looks like the partridge bird that was on the side of their bus, or their little symbol. I am really showing my age there, aren't I? All right, and you'll need an eye. I'm going to go kind of big on the eye. I think it's kind of fun to have an eye, big eye. For painting, I guess it just depends on your kids. You could have them paint before or after. This one was painted after. This is my life now. I wrote my Zoom number on the back of my Zoom meeting, and I wrote it on the back of my bird, and then I couldn't find it. So I've got a gigantic eye, now a beak, and I'm just cutting a triangle, but of course you could have any shape you'd like to have. Now a wing. And of course, if you need to, you can draw these pieces out and see how they're going to fit first. And I'm just going with the winging it method. So now I have a wing and a beak. And now I'm going to cut some tail feathers. And look right here, I've got some tail feathers all ready to go. And then the last thing you want to do is his legs. So there's a very specific way you need to do his legs so that he'll stand up. It's like an L, but it's fat. Here, and I'll show you how to do that after I find what I did with my cardboard. Okay, got my cardboard. So I'm going to draw these out so that you can see, because it's a very specific way to do it. So I'm going to draw about an inch right here, straight down, and then I'm going to come down, and as I come down, I'm going to curve out to a point like that. And I'm going to cut that out. And then I'm going to lay this one on here and trace. I do a lot of recycle projects with plastic bags and cardboard and parts. I'm trying to bring awareness of not having so much plastic in our daily lives, especially if you're going to the grocery store. Please use, after COVID's over, please use reusable bags and not the store grocery bags, plastic grocery bags. Right now, our current store will not let us bring those in, but hopefully soon we can get back to that. So I'm going to test my legs out. Yep. All right, so now that I have my legs, the first thing I want to do is glue these puppies on so they can start drying. And for this, I use an all-purpose liquid glue. Stick glue doesn't really work for this project too much, so I like to use that all-purpose Elmer's glue. And what I do is I give my kids a little piece of paper or scrap paper or an old paper plate or something, and I put a little bit, just a dime size or a quarter size on there. And then I use old gift cards. When I get a gift card, I save it, and I just tap my glue into there, and I run it across. That way my hands stay clean. Now I'm going to make these match. So I'm gluing that one on that side. And this one on this side. And you want the toes facing forward, and you want them to be fairly even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap it on the table so that they're even as much as possible. And then I'm going to lay it to the side. I'm going to lay it flat to dry while I put my parts on. So that's right there. So I'm going to add my eye. I'm going to glue my eye on there. And I like to, I'm just going to dip that in there. I like to just put my beak right up against my face, and that does take a little bit longer to secure and dry. And actually, I think what I'm going to do here is prop it up a little bit with a piece of extra, just like that. I cut it so it fit right up against there. All right, I'm going to add my other parts, my wing. Ta-da. And you could either put those flat against there like that, or I like stacking them. So that's something you can decide. All right, I think I would like to add some more. I think I'm going to add a pupil. So I just found this little scrap here, and I'm going to cut off the edges. And since he's so small, I can just dip him in the glue and stick that on there. And maybe even a little bit of an eyebrow. So the main parts are the beak, the eye, the wing, the tail, and the legs. And legs are very important. But the rest can kind of be up to you. You could add a pupil. In this little guy's case, I'm going to give it an eyebrow. There you go. Now all I have to do is wait for it to dry. Now this glue dries pretty fast, but to paint it, you really probably want to give it a whole nother day. Maybe that you could do this in one rotation, and then the next time they come back, you could have them paint. All right, so this is one that's dry, and I like to use acrylic paints, or you could use tempera paints. And I use old meat trays. I have my parents donate these, and they're reusable. You can wash it off. And I have my kids pick their colors and just give them just a little dot, a little dab. I'm pretty much got my kids trained now to just get a little dab of everything. It's a tough thing to do, because they just want to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. All right, so now I'm going to paint. You can have your kids paint the sections before they put it on if you'd like. I have my kids paint it after it's already made. But that is your call. However you want to try it. I like the acrylic, it goes on really smooth. I have paint shirts in my room, and if they're working with acrylic, they have to wear paint shirts. Watercolor, not so much. Tempera, I give them a choice. They know where the paint shirts are. I leave them out. They have a rack where all the paint shirts are. If they want to go get one, they just ask their table manager, and the table manager can run over there and get it for them. So I'm going to paint this, and by the magic of video, I will be back in a minute. Okay, so my little friend is all dry now, and I wanted to show you something at home. In my studio, I have this mat, and it's just me, and I can clean it up. I don't usually, but I could clean it up. But at school, I want to show you what I use. I use mats, and they're 24 by 36 inch manila paper, and they know to go get a mat when they paint anything. So anything they do, they have a mat. And then you put your artwork on the drying rack with the mat, and then when you take it off, I put them on a rack, and they know exactly where they are. They can go back and get it, and when it gets torn or too used, like this one, I keep it and I make painted paper with it, and so we can make other projects, or we can make them into books. So I just wanted to throw that in there for you. Okay, my little guy's ready. So the first thing I want to do is make sure he stands up. So right where his legs meet his body, I'm just going to fold that up a little bit, bend it on both sides, just like that. And now I'm going to put him up, and I can kind of measure it. Now he stood up really well the first time, but if he didn't, what I try to do with my kids, it's hard to see straight up, isn't it? So what I do with my kids is I have them slightly cut the bottoms off. If one's longer than the other one, or one's rounded, you can just trim it. I was very, very lucky that this little friend stood up the first time, and we didn't really have to trim him that much, but there he is. So the next step is to put some designs on him. Of course, you can decorate yours any way you choose. At home, I also have a white. I do not have one of these at school. My kids don't use it, but I would recommend this Paschal Paint Pen. It works amazing. You just got to shake it up, and then let's see, where do I want to add? It basically covers anything. I could let the kids use it, but they're kind of expensive. You could use white paint. You could have a station. You could get just a couple of these and have them come to the station. I think looking at this, I want to put an edge on him. So I'm going to go around. And then the very last step is to add the feathers on. And I like these feathers that have the ends on them. So I'm going to go with orange. And I'll have the description down below, so you can, if you want to order some of those. But they go into the cardboard really nicely. I want them sticking straight out the back. Like that. So now he stands up, and this is a good project because I was very lucky that mine stood up the first time. This poor guy, he got his feet cut like 4 or 5 different times. So it's a good project to help them learn how to make it balance. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. And remember to check me out on artroomblog.blogspot.com, and I will see you later. Bye.